Good morning, everyone. This is because mic was off, so I am repeating it for online friends. See, yesterday we started talking about polity, correct? More of it was an introduction. Okay, we were not following strictly what syllabus is. Rather, we were trying to comprehend that as a student of polity, what we are supposed to know, what we are supposed to understand, so that we can qualify for the demand of UPSC. Okay, what they ask, and we saw some of the questions also which have been asked previously. Good morning, Akansha, Chetna, and Menak. Fine. Apart from good morning, let's continue and try to understand. So, if you have queries, children, please ask. So, we tried to comprehend that what polity is all about, okay, and we understood one fact, that polity was under Adolf Hitler also, polity was under Alauddin Khilji also, polity was under Aurangzeb also, but only few have been having the great with their name added as a suffix. Ashoka the Great, Akbar the Great. Why not others? So, what will be the features of such a polity that makes any polity or arrangement of power great? So, yesterday we talked about, if you remember, Kautilya also. And which point of Arthashastra we mentioned specifically? That what pleases thyself shall not be the goal of your policy, but what pleases thy subject, that shall be the goal. Okay? So, with this orientation, beta, we started understanding that what can streamline polity? Because the question will arise that how to streamline polity. And then we started talking that through a constitution or constitutional principles, polity can be streamlined. Why I am talking about these things? Because when questions come on basic structure, then try to comprehend that what is this doctrine all about. Today we will be talking about that. After finishing these things, we will be talking about that. A favorite part of UPSC also, they generally ask. Pre also they ask, and mains also they ask. Number of times they have asked a question related to basic structure. So, why they are asking? Don't you think basic structure is nothing but such features of the polity which will ensure that well-being of people is ensured? No one can encroach on their rights. Simple. So, if I say what is the purpose of constitutionalism or constitution, then you will say, sir, only one I have understood, that the government shall be limited in its powers. Shivani Garg, sir, if you use Hindi as well, it is much easier to understand topic. Shivani, I will definitely try, but one thing I will request you, a topic that you are not comprehending, child, any point, just type it and write H in front of it. I will understand, and I will tell that in Hindi also. No worries, I will say something in Hindi also, don't worry. See, when we are understanding, so what I am trying to connect you is that basic structure is nothing. It is simply the philosophical premise of constitutionalism. किसको सुरक्षित रखना है? लोगों को. किससे? किसी शक्तिशाली से. And who is that powerful? State. State can be very powerful. Okay? You must have heard term authoritarian state. These terms we all have heard. That authoritarian state, totalitarian state. अच्छी बातें हैं क्या ये? Will this be a good state? Definitely not. that the rulers were despots. Okay, DESPOTS, निरंकुश. Despot का मतलब निरंकुश, जिस पे कोई कंट्रोल ना हो. So whether such a ruler will be a good ruler? Definitely not. So if I say doctrine of basic structure, don't you think its evolution is simply to tell Parliament that see, you have powers to amend, but don't come and take away or abrogate away the essential features. Okay? So easy. Understand the purpose of polity, and apart from, of course, when I am giving you notes of basic structure, I will talk of First Amendment, 17th Amendment, 24th Amendment, 39th Amendment, 42nd Amendment. बात करेंगे. But if I say without even knowing amendments, you know it. That what is basic structure? Basic structure is that the purpose of constitutionalism shall be kept alive, it shall not be killed by anyone. Raja बदलते रहते हैं, kings keep on changing, people in power keeps on changing, they can have different orientations. किसी का मन कर सकता है, somebody may think of that let me control people by making such laws or by making such amendments to the constitution that even their certain rights are abrogated, taken away. Okay? Understanding? So, basic structure is very easy doctrine. Now, you understand its thesis. Only is filler material is required in formation. That's sir, First Amendment, which case related to it, then 17th Amendment, which case, 39th Amendment, which case, 42nd Amendment, which case, that is what is left. Filler material ही तो रह गया भाई, समझ में तो एकदम आ गया ना, you can write it. UPSC has a very innovative habit of framing questions in a manner which they see, they keep on reading your books and notes, all of them. They have a wonderful team, and that's actually good. They do not want tutored candidates. That is why they change the pattern every year. They want the candidates who are smart enough and who have comprehended things. Why don't you live with the constitution? Don't you think it is the most important thing for all of you? You are young people. Why you should not migrate from India? The answer will not be that the economy will pick up. The answer should be that, sir, polity is based on well-established principles. So one thing is for sure, state cannot be converting to a totalitarian or fascist state anytime. Because if anything will happen, courts will enter. So that is why I want to live in this country. Okay? Somebody may say freedom and dignity, sir, also is of an individual is also a part of basic structure as per judgments of Supreme Court. ये बढ़िया क्या बात है भाई? कहाँ जाओगे? जहाँ कोई सुनवाई ना हो? क्योंकि दुबई में बहुत पैसे मिलते हैं, लटका भी देते हैं. Okay, that is also there. Choice is yours. Choice is yours. The question is which country we should go for. And we say that in India so many amendments have come, but don't worry. After the evolution of basic structure doctrine, amendments will be in your favor only. Because if anything will be going against your interests, they will be done away with. Okay? So, this is how you start living. This is how you start understanding. And this is what UPSC is expecting out of you. You can take pride in your own constitution, in the provisions of the constitution. See the questions. They have only asked those questions which actually give you a sense of confidence as a young person to reside in a country, to work in a country, to live in a country and to contribute to a country. Okay? That is what. So with this approach, competitions, my child, are all about approach. How do you approach a competition? Okay? So out of us who have already cleared national level competitions at our graduate level or postgraduate level, we know what a competition is. Competition is not just reading and studying. Competition is understanding the nerve, that what it requires, and preparing ourselves accordingly. That's right. Otherwise, why they should ask you that constitution is what it is the limited government? Why they should ask it again and again? They actually ask it again and again, and still people mark wrong. They ask it again and again, that at least know what a constitutional government will mean. At least know that why you are protected, secured in India. It's not so that it is the current Prime Minister who is very strong. No, it is the Constitution. It is the Constitution, right? So with this, I will start today's discussion. Okay? Any doubts that you are having? You are most welcome to ask before I start today's discussion. My friend, you are raising your hand. Please. Supreme Court never defined. Okay, please. Then Supreme Court, that particular judgment will not stand, because you have the power with your parliament. Okay? See, the NJAC amendment to the Constitution was done away, declared void by the Supreme Court only for the reason that how come executive be in the selection committee? Executive is the appointing authority. No one is having a question on that. If executive is in the selection committee, don't you think the judges who will be selected by that executive, they will definitely have the orientation of favor towards that executive? Point was valid. The question is not this, that what can be the composition of collegium. Supreme Court is saying, bata do hame, tell us. It's a process of evolution. Okay? I will discuss it, don't worry. इस पे तो notes पूरा topic है सर आपके यहाँ, और 15 marker या 10 marker question आ जाता है यहाँ से. Yes, please. Yeah. Overfiasance. Fiasance means law, application of law. Overfiasance is that you applied law beyond your jurisdiction. What was not in your jurisdiction, still you applied authority there. So that is wrong. Okay, that is wrong. Suppose something is in the power of MCD. Okay, and here also there will be deputy commissioners, and a deputy commissioner is actually under its power related to revenue collection or general administration, is applying some authority. Then the CEO of the MCD will definitely question that how come you applied this authority? This is actually my adhikar kshetra, my authority, my jurisdiction. Got it? Non? Mal. Okay, you were looking on internet, Google, don't look. Because the concept of non-fiasance actually is more associated with England, okay, now UK, where they say that you just keep sitting idle and you do not apply any law where you should have applied it. Okay? So, non-feasance, if I try to talk in Indian case, we have already mandamus here, writ of mandamus. Okay? That is why, see, because you have a written constitution, na? So you have not to evolve all these things. Only you have to evolve because whatever is as per law, you have to do it. I can actually force you. Okay, I can use Article 32, Article 226. Whatever is my right, you will have to provide to me. But in certain areas where it is not there, think of England of 1911 or 1912 or after Jallianwala Bagh. Let's try to understand it. Think of the then England. Okay? At that time, definitely questions were, because some people were not happy even at England, that this is wrong. How we will say that we are people with a thought process? If you kill so many in this manner using machine guns, absurd. They were unarmed, they were not harmed, they were not firing on you. So there were some people. How come we would have made them answerable? Because concrete laws were not there that how the officers responsible will be tried. General Dyer, Michael O'Dwyer, who was the governor, and General Dyer, who actually ordered, both actually were not punished. Rather, their status was said to be raised, that they have gone to the highest extreme in the duty of England. So, in that case, it should be coming. We are more connected with the three terms for our judiciary purpose. Anyway, anything else? Fine, we will start then. Where we left yesterday? Writ of mandamus. Annapurna, we will be coming. See, in the beginning, now when I use terms to explain you something, so for some, these writs, that what is it? Mandamus literally means we command. Okay? So I will be explaining when I will be coming to Article 32. Otherwise, everything will be explained in one aspect only, polity. We are learning, okay, one by one. Till which feature we have learnt yesterday? Separation of powers. You comprehended it? You comprehended it? That separation of powers simply is an idea that power of the state. So power of the state was seen, identified in three essential functions which the state is seen discharging. What were those functions? Shabash. Functions to make laws. That is known as legislation. And this function was seen assigned to legislature. Okay. Another function was seen associated with implementation of such laws. Shabash. They were seen associated with executive. And the third was the function to adjudicate, that is the disputes arising in the or during the process of application of such laws. So there shall be some independent body, tathast hona chahiye, koi neutral. So that was judiciary. That is why whenever we talk of better term, we never talk independence of legislature. We never talk. We always talk independence of judiciary. Correct? So this is what we started learning, and this idea, like AVID-IC was rule of law, this is considered associated with Montesquieu. That's right. Montesquieu. 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 A French philosopher. He was a French philosopher. आपसे इस पे भी क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं, दे कैन आस्क यू अ प्री टाइप क्वेश्चन इवन ऑन दिस. जब हम इंडियन पढ़ेंगे स्पेसिफिकली वी विल टॉक अबाउट इट, बिकॉज वी हैव पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव. तो इन स्ट्रिक्ट सेंस वी कैन नॉट से दैट वी आर फॉलोइंग इट, because some of the executive members are also the member of legislature. They are also the members of legislature. Okay, anyway we will talk about. So now let's see the third one, entrenchment of authority. ट्रेंच का मतलब मैंने कल समझाया था आपको. ओके, ट्रेंच माने खाई. So what we are talking about? Entrenchment of authority. We are talking in entrenchment of authority that no, please write entrenchment of authority, spelling you know, yesterday I have written, okay. E-N-T-R-E-N-C-H-M-E-N-T, entrenchment of authority. Please write. Please write. According to this principle, no institution shall be having the powers to change the scope of its functions on its own. Full stop. This principle is important as otherwise the thesis of checks and balances as otherwise the thesis of checks and balances will become inoperative. Void हो जाएगी ना, thesis बेकार हो जाएगी. Because or as any one of the institution can assume, as any one of the institution can assume extraordinary powers, as any one of the institution can assume extraordinary powers and may declare itself beyond the control of others. ठीक है बच्चों, तो गड़बड़ तो थी. 42nd amendment was having some problems. That is why Supreme Court responded through Minerva Mills judgment. You cannot tell me that I do not have powers to review. You cannot tell me. It's not so that because you want to assume more powers, then you include in the amendments that let it be fundamental rights or any other thing. You don't have powers. That's right. You cannot tell me. You cannot dictate terms. तो आप देखिए बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर अपने आप निकल कर आ रहा है. If you try to comprehend, it is automatically coming. Supreme Court only responded, ना भाई ना, इधर आओ, थम जाओ, hold yourself. Don't try to go beyond your boundaries. And in Minerva Mills case judgment, they even wrote that you have no right to destroy the Constitution. Amendment means that you cannot destroy the Constitution. You have no right to destroy it. You cannot abrogate the essential aspects. Yes, you can amend. So it means amendment also has been provided with a vector nature in place of scalar idea. ठीक है, कंपास लेकर ही चलोगे समुद्र में. It's this ocean is of uncertainty. You cannot move on your own because on the ship, on the vessel, so many people are there. So it's not the whims and fancies of the captain. It's not the whims and fancy of the captain. Otherwise बेटा क्या होता है, टाइटैनिक. मन की मर्जी थोड़ी है कि थोड़ा तेज और चलाते हैं. Let's have a record. Come on. That leads to destruction. It's not your choice. Later on, we were shown in the movie that the captain was actually in all the guilt and actually has gone down. No, he should have been punished. कुछ भी बोलता रहे, how does it matter? How does it matter? Let anybody keep saying that let us make a record. You should know the factors which can affect. Okay, you are sailing on waters, you don't have such type of brakes. You only have the process of slowing down, that's all. You cannot just apply the brakes and just stop within 100 meters. You see even something, if you are on anything about 12 miles, 12 nautical miles per hour, more than that, if you are at such a speed, even at 1 kilometer distance you see something, you can't stop. A small boat is different thing. You must be remembering you are sailing, okay, in Goa, sir, it was very easy. That's big vessel we are talking about. Think of the country, how big this vessel is. Now think of the country, how big this vessel is. Yes, everyone has to be responsible who is in the government. So what is wrong in doctrine of basic structure? What is wrong in it? Of course, Supreme Court is not beyond the idea of this also. Okay, that's why they always have said that we are open to your recommendations about collegium. Don't include executive. उसके बाद proposal ले आइए, हम सुनने को तैयार हैं. When they struck down the NJAC related amendment, they said that see, it is not acceptable because it is affecting what? Basic structure. हम तटस्थ नहीं रह जाएंगे. We will not be neutral anymore. And that is wrong. That cannot be allowed. Dear friends, so entrenchment is very important. Though we say that Supreme Court also somewhere has violated it by creating the thesis of collegium and by having the idea of PILs. ठीक है, इसीलिए डिबेट बनी रहती है. That is why such questions are also possible to be asked. We will be doing when we are understanding to that level, because if I will open it now, more questions will start coming that what this word means. What is next, child? Writtenness of the constitution. शाबाश. Independent judiciary. ये इस पे बातें ही हो रही थी. Very easy. You see, it is one of the cardinal principles of constitutionalism. Independent judiciary or independence of judiciary. It is of cardinal importance, please write under it. It is of cardinal importance that judiciary is kept independent so that it can be effectively neutral EFF, effectively neutral and can give its judgments on the basis of merits of the case, oblique cases. Okay, so what is merit? If I say what is merit, so merit is existing law as per the laws, as per the provisions. That is why application of Article 142 can also become a question for you, where Supreme Court is seen using its extraordinary powers going beyond any existing law. We will be talking about it later. Okay? But independent of judiciary is important. This was one of the reasons that NJAC was struck down, and Modi government also did not try to once again have it or assert its power. They were knowing technical flaw is there. एग्जीक्यूटिव हिस्सा नहीं बन सकता, उसी के खिलाफ तो सारे केस चलेंगे. All the cases will be against that only. Then how executive be in the selection committee? The question is not this कि अरे तीन तो आप हो मैं तो एक ही हूं. No, this is not the question. You cannot be, that's all. So suggest us something else, and you want to say that in your collegium there should be some other, you try to think of it, but should not be part of the executive. कुछ भी और सोच के ले आइए आप, and you see from that time government has not been able to think of one. Yes. सर आपने चेंज कर दिया. You also brought a law. You also brought a law. See what judiciary said. I am not defending anyone. Please try to comprehend. Then only you will be able to enjoy polity and will be able to write the answers. Okay. It is not that judiciary encroached. Judiciary only said it cannot be based on whims and fancies. Procedure बना लीजिए, make a procedure which is of statutory nature. Till that time ये रहेगा. Till that time we will be in the selection committee. Now if you want to have anyone else, most welcome. Law बनाइए, at least make it as per procedure. It should not be based on whims and fancies. Straight word, यार एक word सीखा था कल friends. It should not be arbitrary. बस इतनी सी कहानी है. That the decision should not be arbitrary. So when you are writing an answer to this question, I will take it up, but after around at least 20-25 classes. Then we will be straight away in the capacity to write answers to mains. But when you have asked, so at that time you will actually respond why judiciary responded. So no one was encroaching anything. And if Parliament has made a law in which now in the selection committee the judiciary is not having any role, it does not mean now they are somewhere trying to overpower, override or neglect judiciary. No. Judiciary reacted, they said absence of a system. As you said, non-feasance. ठीक है, बोले भैया यहाँ सिस्टम नहीं है, there is no system here, तो चलिए तब तक ये सिस्टम है, this is the system. At least somebody can trust it. Okay, you bring a system, automatically it will be overwritten, no problem. But at least a system is there. You are right, why judiciary should be included in everything? No, not required. But yes, at least still a system should be there, ना? ऐसा तो नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो सबसे सीनियर IAS हो जिसने आपको बचा दिया किसी चीज में और आपने कहा चल या बन जा चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर. That should not be there, no? It should not be a Vardhan type structure. that you have done lot of bhakti of mine. I was a minister. Okay, क्या बनना चाहते हो कि सब कैग बना दो, चल बन गया. Tomorrow order will come. That should not be there. That should not be there. Okay. So that was the idea. That was the idea. Okay. CBI also they can change, but they don't want to make it statutory. That's why they are continuing. They can respond to CBI also. Who is saying CBI director need to be, CJI need to be the part of it? They can respond. That is why Supreme Court said, na, banaoge to statutory, na then. Either make it statutory, otherwise we are here. Please, when you are writing, try to think of both the sides and don't think against the apex court. Okay? Because that is your savior. That is your savior. Yes, show the tussle between them, but in a very effective manner. Their roles. Now we are not in 1970s. That one after the other. 17th Amendment you are reacting, I brought the 24th. You react to 24th, I brought the 39th. You react to 39th, I brought 42nd. Hill chal raha tha. That is very interesting. When you see that, you will say, sir, Indira Gandhi versus Supreme Court chal raha tha ye to. It was going on versus Indira Gandhi versus Supreme Court. So, but thankfully, from that tussle, इस सागर मंथन से कुछ निकलता है ना. So from that tussle, एक बढ़िया चीज तो आई गई. That now we have a concrete idea of basic structure. That you cannot take away all these things. Otherwise, who is knowing such a strong system would have come or not? Justice Iyer, Justice Iyengar, Justice P.N. Bhagwati, सब उसी की देन है. Because of that tussle only, they thought of that we will react, and later on we had PIL, and that's very good thing. If many PILs are not there, there are few only, then nothing like it. It's very good. Anyway, we will proceed further. Statutory, Harshita, means something as per law. Statute, beta, means a law. Harshita, you got it? Statute simply means a law. So when we say statutory body, so it means which is under a law. ये यूपीएससी का स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन रहा करता है. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी. ओके, विच ऑफ देम इज नॉट हैविंग अ स्टैट्यूटरी स्टेटस. दिस इज a general question which they keep asking. Law. Statute means a law. Statutory का आसान मतलब हो गया कि कोई एक्ट बना हुआ है. There is some act, under that this body has been created. Like example देता हूं आपको. You must have heard of Central Information Commission. सुना है? नहीं सुना, छोड़ देते हैं इसको. You have heard of a municipality. शाबाश, ये तो पक्का सुना होगा कहीं से भी हो. Now if I ask you whether it is having statutory status or not? Yes. हर स्टेट को अपना लॉ बनाना होता है ना बेटा. Okay, they have to make a law, and under that it is provided. लोकपाल is statutory, correct? जिसका भी कानून बन गया, for which you have an act that is having statutory status. CBI is not considered statutory because a law was not enacted in this regard that it should be established under it. A law was not enacted in this regard. Sir, rules of business में है सभी. Yesterday we talked of, no? So collectorate किसके में हो जाएगा? गवर्नर के रूल्स ऑफ बिजनेस. It will be under governor's rules of business. Anyway, let's proceed further. Written constitution. Give the heading, writtenness of the constitution. Yes, Anpurna, CBI is by executive order. We will talk about these things later. Today is second class only. The writtenness of the Constitution, is also considered as one of the cardinal principles as in the light of a written constitution only, courts of law can more effectively decide that what is lawful and what is unlawful in the light of the provisions of the Constitution. Write a word NOT, note. Note. As UK is not having a written constitution, it is said that constitution can be written or unwritten but the ideal condition will be a written constitution only. But the ideal condition will be a written constitution only. Chetna has said, sir, please repeat. Chetna, which point you want to be repeated? Chetna, Divya, which point? Writtenness. Okay. See, others have already written, no? Because I cannot speak the same sentence again. It's not that I have crammed. Meaning will remain the same. Please write. Those who have not written, I am just repeating the point writtenness of the Constitution. Okay? Please write. Writtenness of the Constitution is also considered as a cardinal principle as in the light of written provisions courts of law can precisely or effectively pass its judgments that what is within the scope of the Constitution and which actions are inconsistent with the Constitution. Full stop. And then I have given a note to you that though why it is written in your books that a constitution can be written or unwritten, because supremacy they tried to actually show. So I don't think after 50 years this word will remain there. It should not be, it's absurd. Because they ruled, okay, because they ruled and they were considered elites, they were considered as someone who have provided the thesis of rule of law and everything. So we simply followed. Otherwise it is not an ideal situation. Ideal situation is that it should be written. How come anyone is safe in England? Why people migrate to UK? They should not at all. Can be any time. Any time the locals will think that the people who are outsiders, they are taking away their jobs and everything. Because liberalism is only till that time that you keep getting all the luxuries of life. When your own luxuries are under pressure, all this liberalism dilutes and nationalism starts. ठीक है, हरे पेट का लिबरलिज्म है बेटा कि हाँ दान देना चाहिए, मेरा पेट तो भर गया भाई, अभी भी बहुत ब्रेड बची है, बोले दान दो, इट्स वेरी गुड, वी शुड गिव. और जब अपना पेट खाली होता है कहता है मैं खाऊंगा पहले. Exactly, that is nationalism. So why nationalism is actually coming back? This is the reason. So safest is your own country. I am not against migration, I am speaking, okay, on camera. But if you ask me that, sir, you know a lot of constitution and actually I have traveled to many countries, the best place is your own country. Okay, and if the constitution is people from UK should migrate to India or America, that is okay. But Indians are migrating to UK, absurd from polity point of view. तुम्हारा भरोसा क्या है, तुम कल बदल जाओ. You don't have a written constitution, तुम्हें कौन से amendment करने हैं? You don't have to make any amendment, you only have to pass a law. You only have to pass a law. Okay? So anyway, नमस्ते लंदन के मैं बता रहा हूं क्या क्या अक्षय कुमार को बोलना चाहिए था, what he should have said at that time, which he missed. पढ़े लिखे होने का बहुत फायदा होता है. If you would have written the script, you would have made it more interesting. You would have made it more interesting. आर्मी वार्मी की बातें नहीं करते आप, तो प्रिंसिपल पे बात करते. ये छोड़े, leave it. You are nowhere. We are the people with written constitution. Okay, we are the people with backbone of law. एक sentence मालूम पड़ा आपको. Okay, this is a sentence. Nani Palkiwala, he used it. What is constitution? It is the backbone of all laws. ये रीढ़ की हड्डी है. So think of a country where the laws do not have backbone. आपको स्टेबिलिटी ऊपर के पोर्शन को इससे ही तो मिल रही है, अदरवाइज यू कोलैप्स. फिनिश. So they are lump of flesh, nothing more than it. बहुत बुराई हो गई, अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. Yes, this is मेरा भारत महान. Let us proceed further. Arrangement of democracy. Next point is arrangement of democracy. या थोड़ा सा सिखा देते हैं आपको. See friends, when you talk of democracy, the term demos, if you think of, simply states the people, and cracy means a system. Okay, to a system in which people are the decision makers. In a system in which people are the decision makers. How the people will decide? That is where you will actually hear terms like direct democracy, representative democracy. Kitta buyenge terms. Because we are a democracy, agreed. But now the question will arise, you say it is a system in which who will decide? People will decide. But how the people will decide? Whether they will assemble in some stadium? Then you will say a stadium will have a capacity. And as said by Woodrow Wilson, that the most difficult thing in any democracy is to reach any decision, because scores of opinions will be there. ठीक है, पहले अंग्रेजी में स्कोर वर्ड यूज करते थे, स्कोर माने 20, scores of opinion means 20 to the power something, 1 score of oranges पहले यूज करते थे, जब पाउंड वगैरह का सिस्टम था ना बेटा, then the term was scored. So he talked in 19th century, so that is why scores of opinion means many opinions. So he said, in a democracy, there will be scores of opinions, and to reach a simple decision, many adjustments need to be made. Now, think in your mind that a stadium where 40-50,000 people are sitting, can they reach a decision? Very difficult for them to. And if I think of 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh, okay, तो बहुत कठिन हो जाएगा. How do you think of? और करोड़ में सोचने लग गए तो बहुत ही ज्यादा मुश्किल. Think of Uttar Pradesh, that 25 crore people have to decide on a policy. So the first question will be, nowadays IT is there, you can say, sir, we can connect, we can create a system like online stadium, where, but so many things will keep coming, so many ideas will keep coming. How will you decide? So what was devised? The idea of representative democracy, that these people will come and the term constituency will be developed. Okay? Your representatives can be better directly elected or indirectly elected. There can be various formats. Who will be the electorate? That also can vary. Earlier, in USA, who claim that they had the constitution right from the beginning, earliest written constitution, they did not give voting rights to blacks and even women, even white women, forget blacks. Entire 19th century, neither their white women were having voting rights, definitely forget about blacks, and they now try to dictate and preach to others. अब इंग्लैंड के बाद यूएसए की बारी है, तभी तो मेरा भारत महान बनेगा ना. Otherwise, how can you take pride? And what I am saying is on record. I stand by it. No American or English तो खैर भाग जाएगा, can stand in front of any Indian if it is the question of a constitutional government. There are no one to preach us that you should control hate speech and all this. Absurd. Look who is talking. We are the one who right from the beginning talked about adult franchisee, universal adult franchisee, सबको. चर्चिल की बात कर रही है. We will talk about that drunkard later. He was a great alcoholic. We will talk about him later. और कुछ we will understand it. We will understand it later. Don't worry. देखिए आप इमोशनल होना शुरू हो गए. Good. That is what I want. You should take pride in your country. Sir, why is US called the constitutional republic? How is it different from democracy? Beta Gaurav Manoj Shinde. Oh, you are having my name also in the name. I will have to definitely reply. Manoj replying to Manoj, eh? Karthik calling Karthik. So, see, republic beta simply means the head of the state is elected. Like UK is not a republic but a democracy. USA is a republic, India is a republic. Okay? So the term republic and democracy, please do not mix. Republic means the head of the state is elected, and democracy means a decision making system by the people. So if head of the state is only symbolic head, then no problem. Democracy can thrive easily. Okay? Democracy can easily thrive. Clear? So it's a different term. Anyway, we are trying to understand democracy. So in democracy, children, for the purpose of UPSC, so first of all you have understood what is democracy? A system of decision making where people decide. But as the size of the population will be generally a large size and it will not be convenient to reach decisions with the opinions of masses, we create a system of representative democracy where from the constituencies created for this purpose. ये टर्म ध्यान से सुनिए, constituencies created for this purpose. It means a constituency of MP and a constituency of MLA will be different. एक बात नहीं है. They will be separately earmarked. They will be separately charted. Okay? So, from a constituency earmarked for that purpose. ठीक है बेटा? So, constituency of a panchayat member will be different. And do we need to write or prepare electoral rolls separately and again and again? Yes. Why? Yes. सबका electoral roll अलग अलग बनेगा. So don't say that I voted for MP and now my name is not reflecting. I have to vote for the MLA. It may not be there. So be watchful. That's why keep checking. आपकी ड्यूटी है. It is your duty. It does not mean that it was in the previous list, it will be in this also. Some errors must have taken place or they must have thought that you have gone to some other place. So may be missing. आप सुनते हैं ना, हर बार होता है every election that some people keep shouting, I am the major and see my name is not here. Sir, सेना में जाओ. कहाँ लड़ रहे हो हमसे? Why are you fighting with us? You should have checked it before. And that is why Election Commission of India 6 months, rather 1 year before the elections, again and again gave advertisements in newspaper which are paid, PAID, पैसा खर्च करते हैं, that kindly check your names in the electoral rolls and if there is any error, kindly notify it. Okay? So it means we also have some duty. Anyway, now you have understood one concept, that constituencies are separate for every legislative house. Okay, they are separately created. Fine. So democracy is a system where representatives may be elected, okay, directly or indirectly, and these representatives decide upon. ठीक है. If it is direct democracy, generally suitable to such states where population size is limited, like in Switzerland. At some places it will be experiencing direct democracy. Monaco, biscuit name, Monaco. Okay, so there also they can have, if the population is 20,000 only, and we say okay, for 1 month you can come and register your opinion here, it can work. It can work. Okay, but with any size of population like we have, it will not work. ठीक है. So you understanding this concept? लिख लें अब इसको. Any doubts? Okay, Gaurav. He has written Manoj is my father's name. I am also father figure, don't worry. To you. Be blessed with knowledge. Rashi Jan is saying memorandum. Memorandum I have used here. Anyway, Rashi, later on we will talk about it. Okay. Let us first of all try to finish. Towards the end of the class I will explain. The arrangement, please write. The term demos, DEMOS, the term demos refers to the people Greek word है ना बेटा, इसलिए inverted commas में लिखेंगे. Whenever you are writing the words of any other language, let it be Latin, let it be Greek, French, okay, it should be always in inverted commas. When you write something from, let's say in Sanskrit, from Arthashastra also, so of course your script will remain this only, okay, but it should be in inverted commas. Like Pautavadhyaksh you are writing, so of course you will spell it Pautva, Adhyakshya, but it will be in inverted commas. Superintendent of, someone from history in the class? You are from history? Okay. What is Pautavadhyaksh? Well, mujhe maar. Should not have responded. No worries, no worries. Superintendent of weights and measures. ठीक है, इसमें बताया है सेकंड अधिकरण ऑफ अर्थशास्त्र, वहां सुपरिंटेंडेंट्स के नाम है सर. एनीवे, लेट्स टॉक. I was just trying to teach you one thing. If you write any other language word, put it in inverted commas. ये must है, MUST. It is not shall. Please write. The term demos refers to the people, and the term cracy, CRACY, refers to the crazy, CRACY, refers to the system or arrangement. Arrangement. Thus democracy will mean a system where people are the decision makers, or people decide. ठीक है, तो अब टर्म्स समझ में आ गए होंगे. मेरिटोक्रेसी, एरिस्टोक्रेसी, ब्यूरोक्रेसी. ठीक है, एरिस्टोक्रेसी मीन्स बेटा a system where aristocrats decide. Meritocracy means A system where people with merit decide. आसान हो गया है तो you can understand anything. And bureaucracy means a system where bureaucrats decide. It's easy now. Okay. Now write next point in it. Democracy can be direct in nature or indirect in nature. Direct democracy will refer to such a system where people are involved, directly in the process of reaching decisions. Full stop. This system will be suitable to compact sizes of population. ठीक है, so not for यूपी बिहार एंड बंगाल तो डेफिनेटली, यहाँ तो मोहल्ला डिस्ट्रिक्ट हो जाएगा बेटा कुछ दिनों में. A particular colony will be declared district. So much of population, very hard working people. Anyway, let us proceed further. छोटा छोटा साइज होना, स्मॉल साइज. आप कॉम्पैक्ट कीजिएगा स्मॉल लिख लीजिए. No, it's not. It will see where the population is less. There you can think of having a direct democracy as well. But where the population size is large, beta, you know, it will be, yes, it will be inappropriate, inconvenient, and rather I will use the word impossible to have that. चलेगा नहीं ना काम. It will not be possible to reach that. Okay, now write indirect democracy refers to a system where people elect their representatives and on their behalf their representatives make decisions. Clear? So suitable for large sizes. So it is suitable there. Any doubts in understanding it? Debarita Roy, Menak, Harsh Malik, Niranjan Kumar, Indrani Goswami. It's not a roll call. I am just asking. All of us, we are here and attentive. Fine. Okay, Sumit. Let's proceed. What is next? Thesis of fundamental rights, लिस्ट में देख लीजिए क्या है नोट्स में. Thesis of FRs, please write. Good. Rest. Thesis of fundamental rights. Please write. Fundamental rights refer to such rights which are generally seen incorporated, in the Constitution itself and are considered cardinal for the growth and freedom of people full stop. FRs, that is fundamental rights, are also considered of transcendental nature. Golaknath case, this word was used. Transcendental means which are the essential part, cannot be taken away, immutable, are of transcendental nature and are seen under the must category. Write the word must in inverted commas and underline it. Must category, through which people enjoy certain freedoms comma, guarantee of equality, and a dignityful life. Rashi is asking me to repeat. My child, tell me from where I need to repeat. You got it. Okay, Rashi. Thank you, beta. Fine, friends. So, any other point is left? Which one? Welfare orientation. Repeat from Basid Ali. It is not transcendental, it is transcendental. I have written the word spelling here, beta. Basid. Okay, I will help you to remember the spelling. Trans, T-R-A-N-S, then C-E-N, and then dental. And you will never forget it now. Trans plus sen plus dental. Okay? I will repeat. He wants to repeat from transcendental. And are seen of must category through transcendental. नहीं कहाँ है बेटा? ये तुमने explain किया हुआ है. अच्छा. Transcendental A category of which people enjoy, through which people enjoy certain freedoms, comma, guarantee of equality and dignityful life. Gaurav Shinde. I am speaking fast. Anyway, still give me. Gaurav Shinde, can you repeat considered or dash in the freedom of people? Considered cardinal, C-A-R-D-I-N-A-L, cardinal for the growth. Considered cardinal for the growth and freedom of people. Okay, Gaurav? Fine, but no worries. If you miss something, please ask. Don't hesitate. Because later on, you may have a creative idea, and especially if you will try to fill it from Google, then it will become Google. So it's better to ask me. I am trying to use words which UPSC is generally using in their sentences so that you can easily connect immediately. जो पढ़ा हुआ होता है याद हो जाता है ना बेटा. So why we say that you should go through NCRTs for your prelims? We say na that history NCRT, this NCRT, economic, because we all have a memory. A sentence, a word which you have read earlier, it will always be more easily comprehended by you. So I am trying to use that vocabulary only which they use there, so that things become easier for you. So all the important judgments vocabulary will be here. Let it be in Keshwanand Bharati, let it be in Golaknath. Okay? So now the last one is left. It is the last point. Must. Yes. Cardinal का मतलब जो backbone nature का हो जाता है, which are very important. This is of welfare orientation. Fine. According to this principle, according to this principle, the government in its policies, and in the process of legislation shall always keep one goal at the back of their mind, that such policies and laws shall be directed towards the welfare of people. That is, shall be in the lines of providing justice, that is, shall be in the lines of providing justice, dash, that is a hyphen, social, economic, as well as political. Fine. That should be the idea. So why DPSP beta is also one of the favorites of UPSC? Now you know it. It is going with cardinal principle of the Constitution. It is there. So any doubts still here in understanding it? Anyone? Indrani? Kamran? You have one doubt. Okay. I am not here from any party, but I will talk on facts. देखो एक बात सुनो बेटा, बहुत आसान बात आपको बताऊंगा. ओके ओके प्लीज प्लीज. किसने कहा आपसे हरास हो गई सोशल डेमोक्रेसी? हु टोल्ड यू? किसने कहा कम कर दिया भाई? सुनो एक बात, पहले आप your budget was 1 lakh crores and let's say you were spending 40,000 crores on this, so you thought it is 40%. If your budget is 20 lakh crores and you are spending 2 lakh crores, it looks 10%. It looks 10%, but don't you think it is 5 times? Come on, sir. These politicians, I'm not against them, okay, I'm on camera. I'm not against any politician, but sometimes they use such sentences, statements which are misleading. आप कह रहे हैं साहब पहले मुझे 10% रोटियां मिलती थी खाने में, ये कितनी बनती थी भाई ये बताओ? How many were prepared? That 20 chapatis were prepared and I used to have 2. ठीक है? अब आप कहते हैं साहब मेरा तो इन्होंने केवल 5% कर दिया. बोले अब बनती कितनी है? कि 100 बनती हैं. यार कितना खाएगा? Try to think on that perspective also. Go by numbers. It is a number. What you talk percentage, then don't you think I will try to talk of figures also? But you should tell me that in the previous budget it was 1,50,000 crores, now it is 1,20,000 crores, then it is reduction. तब तो reduction है कि 30,000 crore कहाँ गया? But don't talk in percentage, because if the pie is actually increasing, that size is increasing, then definitely. Ma'am, we want to purchase. Okay, don't you think it is something important? A person who is in low income group will have his kitchen and other expenditure which will amount to 50 to 60 or 70% of his income, and for you people and us it is not even 5%. आप कैसे बात करें? कितना खाओगे? करो 50% अपने किचन पे खर्चा. Let us see, can you do it? It's not possible. And you cannot say. So even you are ordering from Zomato and all, तब भी 5% ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. बहुत होता है 5%. Because there is a limit. So sir, such things, if you are actually writing in mains, then you have to be very cautious. You have to have figures from your budget. Sir, मैं purely apolitical हूँ. Please understand it. Whether it was by X, Y or Z, I am purely apolitical here, and a teacher should be, honestly. Because if I will start having opinions, I will not be able to help you. I should be actually genuinely neutral. Even if I am carrying opinion, it should be somewhere at the back. I should give you what you can write in examination. That's why I said, when you are having such things, so how will you start an answer? That prima facie it may appear. Okay, now we are starting one of the most important topic, that is basic structure. रेडी हो, दिन दूसरा ही है आज, क्योंकि बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर का मतलब वी आर टचिंग मेंस एज वेल. जरा भी लगता है कि सर थोड़ा खतरा है अभी, तो टेल मी, आई विल कवर फीचर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नाउ एंड बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर आई विल पुश फॉर टुमारो. तो यू हैव टू बी श्योर. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट मी सी टाइम, क्योंकि एक सिंगल शॉट में मैं खत्म करना चाहूंगा. नो, वी विल हैव टू गो फॉर फीचर्स ओनली. We have to go for features only. Yeah, features, not basic structure, because basic structure means I have to tell you what is FR, otherwise Shankari Prasad case I cannot talk. We will have to open more things. बहुत elaboration है उसमें. So today we are now writing features of Indian Constitution. ठीक है, ये आसान भी है, easy, and you are only touching features. So here also I will explain if anything will be required. See friends, now helping thing to you. If someone is asking what are the features of the Constitution and you ask me, sir, how do I remember them? One way is that you have the words or wordings of your preamble with you. ठीक है, उनसे वो बड़ी हेल्पफुल होता है. What are the features of the Indian Constitution? Then if you know the various parts, that is also very helpful. Like if someone is better knowing DPSP is there, can easily say that, sir, we have welfare orientation very well established in the Constitution itself. बड़ी आसानी से बता दोगे आप. If you remember that fundamental rights are enumerated in the Constitution itself in part 3, then also you can say it. So federal system, ये सब features है, these all are features. Some of these features will be actually seen as basic structure features also. Some of them, okay, some of them, because in some there may be changes possible, but in some they will say that no, you cannot. Like the form of democracy may be changed, but democracy cannot be done away with. It may be changed. It's not necessary that you will have 2 houses only. You can have 3 houses also. It can be made a tricameral. Okay? But the system of decision making by the people, that cannot be taken away. Okay? Who is knowing? When we all start using IT very effectively, when digital divide problem is not that much, so we may start taking the opinion of the people also. Okay? We may start having surveys. Now also you must have seen various full size advertisements and sometimes quarter or half size advertisements. It's not something else, okay? Quarter, half and full I have talked, but it was in newspaper page I am talking about. So there, no, some people started smiling when I said quarter, half and full. So it is something different I was talking. So in that page they ask you, you must have seen that there is a bill and Parliament is seeking the opinion of the people. Okay? The procedure is, whenever a bill is sent to a select committee, beta, what they do is they generally publish an advertisement in newspaper that, see, this and this bill is under consideration with us. People who think they have something to say about it, kindly write to this. अब तो email address भी देते हैं. Now they give email address also. So it is a system only that I am trying to improve my democracy. I am trying to connect with the people, that not just limited representatives who are sitting in the house, the people, because people are the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders ultimately? People are the stakeholders. They actually tell us what is their opinion about it. Okay? So that will not change. So we are now writing features, and let's write what are the features. Some of the points which you have written in your cardinal principles will be repeated. Some new terms will come. The new terms I will explain. ठीक है? क्योंकि हमने सेक्युलरिज्म वहां पे नहीं बोला है, यहां बोलेंगे. So I will explain what do you mean by it. ठीक है? Please write. Indian Constitution is a written and highly comprehensive document wherein various aspects of governmental functioning have been discussed in sufficiently descriptive manner पर्याप्त रूप से विस्तार से चर्चा की है. They have provided, so it becomes easy for us. It's not just indicative. Indian Constitution is not just an indicative document. सर ये कुछ इशू आ रहा है, वॉइस इशू. एनी प्रॉब्लम फॉर यू? अच्छा, उनका अपना होगा. ओके, फाइन. So we just started talking about beta Indian Constitution. Those who are having the problem of voice and all, I am just repeating it. We just talked, we have written only one statement where we are talking that Indian Constitution is a comprehensive document where sufficient description is available. Okay. Now I am going further. Kamran is asked, have been discussed in descriptive manner, Yes, we are writing, Nikita, features of Indian Constitution. So first feature is, it is written. I think you must have marked it by now. Second feature, it is very comprehensive. It is not an indicative document. ठीक है? अमेरिका हमें बताता है, they have a very indicative constitution. कुछ है कहाँ उसमें? Nothing is provided. Everything has been left to your own thinking. Okay? और इसी तरह के वहां के लोग भी हैं. Anyway, I am not against anyone, but ऐसे ही लोग भी हैं. It's a fact. Okay? When I was in Pasteur Mérieux in France, I have worked with some Americans also. कंपनी में थे, अजीबो गरीब है बेटा. प्रिडिक्टेबल नहीं है. क्यों? उनके वो कहते हैं हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ही नहीं है साहब कुछ भी. When our constitution is only few things and rest is to your own thinking. This is how we people are. ये खराब वर्ड है. Too unpredictable. ये सही वर्ड है उनके लिए. Flexible we are. They are unpredictable. अब तो यहां तो देश में हो जितनी बुराई कर रही है वो हमारी बैठ के करते हैं. They always Actually, they never see us in great light. Never. हम तो इतना तो right है ही हमारा. And I am talking on the basis of law. I am not talking in air. Emotional statement नहीं है मेरा. It is based on, because I am saying my constitution is comprehensive. You bring yours. Let us compare. Will they be bringing? No. Next point, next feature. Please write. Indian Constitution has provided for the description of territory of India, as well as its nature. Full stop. In this point only, the federal principle has been adopted. Federal principle has been adopted as the in principle arrangement. As the in principle arrangement, but the idea is used with development of the people, and also with regional emotions in consideration. ठीक है, तो नई स्टेट बना सकते हैं क्या हम? कैन वी क्रिएट मोर स्टेट्स? यस, नो प्रॉब्लम. If it is for the purpose of development, and if people are feeling more happy with it, we can go with it. But development should definitely be promoted by it. So there is no problem. Was it wrong to have states on linguistic basis? Not at all. If something is keeping you more satisfied and you feel confident about the polity structure, what is wrong? That I gave you a state on linguistic basis. You remain an Indian. You may be from any state, we all remain Indians. Okay? So, demanding a new state cannot be seen as a threat to unity and integrity of India. When America with 32, now 32 point something crore of population can have 50 states plus District of Columbia. Why we cannot have with 140 crore population? So, there is nothing in it, but yes, it should be based on reasonable premises. It should not be divisive in nature. कैसी ना हो, जो divisive ना हो. It should not be divisive. The idea is not this, that I cannot live with these people. We will not allow. That we will not allow. The idea is that, see, our geographical region is different, distinct. We have distinct occupational patterns. We have distinct culture. So, if you will please give us a separate state, our development, our growth can be better and we can contribute to the national development in a more comprehensive manner. Will you give the state in that case? Yes, no problem. Why we cannot give a state? We can definitely give a state. Got it, sir? Okay. नहीं, बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर तो मैं पढ़ा ही नहीं रहा हूं आपको, हेडिंग चेंज हो गया ना बेटा। हाँ हाँ, फीचर्स। मैडम मत खुलवाओ वो चैप्टर। न्यू डिबेट विल स्टार्ट एंड न्यू डिस्कशन विल स्टार्ट। बाय नाउ दो आर क्लास इज सेकेंड ओनली, जान पहचान नहीं है, लेकिन इतना आप समझ गए होंगे, अगर मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूं तो मुझे भी पूरा ही एक्सप्लेन करके शांति मिलती है। So I will not enter, otherwise I am not at peace within myself. मेरे अंदर एंट्रोपी शुरू हो जाती है। ओके, so we will talk about it later. अभी इन्हें समझ लो। Understand the components. I am going in sufficient description. मेरा constitution भी descriptive है, so I am also descriptive. Don't worry. Everything will come. Okay? Please. ये पॉइंट हो गया। नेक्स्ट फीचर लिखते हैं। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया प्रोवाइड्स फॉर द अरेंजमेंट ऑफ अ डेमोक्रेसी and the setup of governments at the union level, comma, at the state level, and even at the local levels, has been provided to be democratic. ठीक है बेटा। सो नेचर ऑफ लेजिस्लेचर एट द यूनियन लेवल डेमोक्रेटिक, नेचर ऑफ लेजिस्लेचर एट द स्टेट लेवल डेमोक्रेटिक, एंड नेचर ऑफ द bodies, local bodies, that is also democratic. है ना बेटा। लेट इट बी पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशंस और म्यूनिसिपैलिटीज, ULBs, urban local bodies, they all, the sentence written is that all the members shall be coming directly elected from the constituencies created for this purpose. Municipalities में भी है part 9 A and as well as part 9, that is for panchayats, it is specifically written. The same thing is for legislature. Okay. So we say that sir, Rajya Sabha people are indirectly elected, but they are elected. Okay, and that is why a term will come that who shall be the electorate, the elected members only. I will explain you later all these things. Why the wording elected members has been specifically provided. Okay, to somewhere strengthen the idea of the democratic arrangement. ठीक है। So we are a federal polity. Are we a federal polity? Yes, we are. Just having Article 3 is not taking away the federal polity structure, that we can actually redraw the boundaries of states, does not mean we are not a federal polity. We are a federal polity, and a better federal polity than United States of America. Definitely we are better, because if we will see that development is not great in this state, I will redraw it as a UT for some time. ठीक है। So you are answered to some extent of 370. So I will redraw it. Why? Development is not taking place. I will make it a UT, and later on again I can give it a state status. How does it matter? I can change it. Because the idea is to actually see the well-being of the people. Well-being of the USA, sir, some states will always glitter there, but around 39 states of USA are not worth living. When you talk of USA, you only are talking of 10 to 11 states. and for Indians 4 to 5 states only. Otherwise it's not a great place. Why they have SUVs in USA? Because roads are not there. Yes, of course in India you don't require SUV. It is only for the purpose of what can you do when others are having, you also have to have it. Otherwise here you don't require, but in America they require it. In many states roads are not properly motorable. In India, don't you take pride that rural connectivity also in last 10 years has been achieved to an extraordinary extent? Don't you take pride that railways have reached the valley? That is where RA feeling hai. 15 August abhi abhi gayi hai. And your batch is also known as Freedom Batch, I think so. बहुत बढ़िया example हो. चलो let us proceed further. Next feature देखिए सर. Constitution provides for the thesis of fundamental rights. In an elaborate manner. Where not only rights related to equality and freedom are mentioned, where not only rights related to freedom, equality and freedom are mentioned, but also the rights associated with freedom of conscience, and rights related to preserving of unique culture, etc. have been provided for. Yeah. ठीक है, अमेरिका के एफर्ट्स पढ़िएगा. राइट अगेंस्ट क्वार्टरिंग ऑफ सोल्जर्स, वो अभी भी 17th सेंचुरी में ही बैठे हुए हैं. राइट टू हैव आर्म्स, ये तो उनके एफर्ट्स हैं. ओके, Americans will definitely not be happy to watch this if anyone is there, but this is the nature. So crude, so crude. उनको देखकर लगता है कि अभी भी हम कोई पुरानी फिल्म जैसे देख रहे हैं. हाँ, पुरानी सभ्यता है. यहाँ उन्हें ये डर है. राइट अगेंस्ट क्वार्टरिंग ऑफ सोल्जर्स, यू मीन व्हाट? दैट गवर्नमेंट कैन नॉट मेक योर हाउस as a station for their military officers. That is right against quartering of soldiers. ठीक है, तो इतने क्रूड तो उनके फंडामेंटल राइट हैं जो अब होता ही नहीं है दुनिया में कहीं भी, which is not there anywhere in the world. These are their efforts, and they keep on celebrating their right against, right related to arms, firearms. And we keep hearing of some tragedies which keep on happening in the schools, colleges, malls. अब तो थोड़ा एडवांस हो रहे हैं बेटा, मॉल्स में भी चला देते हैं. Now they are getting more advanced. क्या बहुत हो गया स्कूल कॉलेज, बाहर मारेंगे. So don't you think it is absurd? Because a country which cannot ask its people to be at peace within, how can they preach peace to anyone in the world? Their own people are having entropy, and you see your fundamental rights, how beautifully they have been written and in detail. The chapter starts from article 12 until 35, it will continue, providing various provisions. ठीक है, चलिए फिर से मेरा भारत महान आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's proceed. Next feature, the thesis of welfare has been incorporated in the Constitution itself in the form of DPSP, in the form of DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, comma, part 9th, that is Panchayats, comma, ULBs, comma, Schedule 5 and Schedule 6, and part 16 of the Constitution. इसका मतलब बेटा, if in mains a question comes on welfare, don't just limit yourself till DPSP. You have to think of all such things which have been incorporated in the Constitution to actually ensure the kalyan, that is welfare of the people. Urban local bodies बेटा, municipalities लिख सकते हैं. Next feature, judiciary has been provided as an independent arrangement and its nature is integrated. That is, courts of law in India, and its nature is integrated. इसकी प्रकृति एकीकृत है. Its nature is integrated, that is, courts of law in India, can take up the cases related to laws of the union and laws of the state, both. Clear? So here we take it up, and the arrangement is also, if you just think of judiciary, it is also great. See, we all know that state laws will have variations, right beta? Because of cultural factors, because of their economic aspects, okay? Diversity is there. Geography, okay? The coastal areas definitely have to have certain laws which will help their living. So in that case, at the local level it is fine, you will say at the sectional level. sessions court level. It is okay. How they take it up? There is a system of promotion. They move to High Court. And from High Court, we pick some of the judges in the Supreme Court. So actually in the Supreme Court, even the local variations can be comprehended well. Are you understanding? In USA, there is no such system. There is no such system. They have their own Supreme Court in every state. So, don't you think regional pressures and regional emotions can be the decisive factor? क्या न्याय मिल जाएगा वास्तव में? No. But in India it is for sure. You were tried in a particular state. Unfortunately, you were tried. Unfortunately, you were tried by a judge who was promoted from lower judiciary at the High Court, so was having regional orientation. Do not worry. Come to Supreme Court. All these regional variations will be done away with. There will be no problem of any sort of regional emotions. You will get justice for sure. तो बेहतर है ना आपकी जुडिशरी भी. Try to better feel Indian Constitution and its system. तब तारीफ कर पाएंगे. And then you will actually be furthermore motivated to be a civil servant in India. Because the more you appreciate, the more you feel attached to something. Okay? The more you associate, the more you feel attached to something. Qualities पता चलती जाती है ना. So you are in a great country with a great constitution, and you have the duty as very young people to come up, work hard, enter into the services, and take these principles further. You have this duty. Okay? क्योंकि लिखा हुआ बहुत बढ़िया है, अब ये काम भी होना चाहिए. If there are some problems, they are at the grassroots level. So you will be, after your selection, okay, you will be functioning at the district levels only. That's right, field units जिन्हें कहते हैं. So you will be in field units only. Try to work. Who will be a better officer? The one who is carrying the constitution and its philosophy in the heart. That person will try to further make it a better society. ये हमारे आंसर्स में रिफ्लेक्ट होना चाहिए. Never be defensive. Never be defensive. हमसे अच्छा बहुत किसी एक आध कंट्री का हो सकता है, अदरवाइज नहीं है. We are the best. And I am saying it on record. We are definitely the best. Very few people can take this level of interest in writing of constitution as our people have taken. खुद गुलामी सही थी ना बेटा. So we know the significance of freedom. So we know the significance of equality. We have faced discrimination. Okay? Proceed. Next point. Indian Constitution provides for the arrangement of welfare we have done above, na? Arrangement of specific process for selection to public services through impartial institutional frameworks like UPSC, SPSC, State Public Service Commission, etc. ये तो दुनिया के बहुत ही कम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में मिलेगा, केवल मैकार्थर में है, फ्रांस में. Otherwise, they do not go to this extent. We were aware. Our great people have faced discrimination in England. At that time, examination used to be conducted in London. So they have seen the discrimination. तो उन्हें मालूम था ना, it shall not be with, it should be with a commission, and that shall be an impartial body, and it will be only impartial when it is having a constitutional status. इसलिए लिखा constitution. Otherwise, many people will say, जबरदस्ती लिख दिए. There is no point of writing these articles. Then you can say, you fool, you will not realize that partisan attitude can harm the process of appointment. See, in a country like ours, even a cabinet secretary cannot ensure his son or daughter's selection to civil services. Thanks to what? Constitution and its body like UPSC. That is why it is very fair. That's why so many people work hard for UPSC, and it is worth. Honestly, मालूम है ना impartial है, मेरी merit पे होगा जो कुछ होगा, फिर क्या डर है? Then there is no problem. It is on my hard work. There is no biased arrangements. That's the best thing. So see, in the constitution it is there. Proceed further. The process of elections. Next feature, the process of elections. The process of elections, as well as the principle of right to vote, has been provided in the Constitution itself. Okay, got it, child? So now we will come to secularism and all. Is right? Kitna is Azmi, sir, could you please confirm in Lakshmikant which chapter we need to cover according to you? But I am not teaching you Lakshmikant, I am teaching you syllabus. So at present I am covering the GS paper 2 main syllabus. Okay, so according to that you will have to cover, and this much detail you will not find in Lakshmikant of the points and all, because in my view are the questions which they have asked and they can ask. So I am trying to just write accordingly, and as a teacher I have also, as your elder also, to give you an attitude. It's not just to say that I should actually read Constitution because it is in examination. Actually everyone should read Constitution. It will give you a sense of pride and being a dutiful citizen. Okay, how we can be a good Samaritans? Read your Indian Constitution, and it is a better book than any sacred book for youngsters. Being spiritual is never bad. It's never bad. So a person can go through spiritual books as well. But firstly I will say it should be the Constitution. So you understand your duty towards the society. Okay. Next feature. Constitution of India provides for socialist as well as secular character of Indian polity. Put a bracket, start a bracket and write. These words are mentioned in the preamble. Inserted through 42nd Amendment to the Constitution. Inserted through means included in the preamble through 42nd Amendment to the Constitution. Bracket close. Fine? Got it? So now let's understand these two words. Thank you so much. See. Now let's see the words. A minute. We will see the words tomorrow. I got it. I got it. No, your next class will also be there. No? Because they also may be having, the timing is till 10:30. So 5-10 minutes I take liberty. But more than that will be wrong. So friends, see, Kitna said thank you also so quickly. Shobha, Meena, sir, your teaching style is very nice. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. And actually everyone. That's great. So, kids, we will be, Sumit, very impressive. Oh, don't say this much. Thank you. So, we will be continuing tomorrow. Okay. And we will take more pride in the Indian polity and being an Indian. Okay. So, we will study basic structure. So, tomorrow's class, kids, actually every class in the beginning is very important. But tomorrow we will be touching something of mains. So don't be afraid when I say amendments, numbers or some judgments. Okay? See, because I will be giving you notes which you can use later also. So standard of the notes will be pretty high, means as per the requirement of UPSC. But आप डरिएगा मत, I will explain you a lot. कहानी भी सुना दूंगा, शंकरी प्रसाद कौन थे, गोलकनाथ अंग्रेज थे, सब बता दूंगा. That I will tell you. We will hear the stories, so you will remember for all the times to come. But yes, we have to. Vasant Raja Arun Kumar, thank you for maintaining in English. Okay, no worries. There we are. So we will be continuing tomorrow. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Bye-bye.